Hello, this is Exit Light, and this is another in my series of my own personal paranormal experiences. A little background on this is that we moved in to a planned community. We had our home built there. This community was built in 5 separate sections. We built our home in the second section. We were the third house completed and ready to be occupied. As far as we knew, the land before this community had been used as a crop dusting airport where the airplanes landed after they had dusted the crops for the cotton fields. In the third and fourth community section, which was built about 1 to 2 years after we had moved into our house, that construction had to be stopped because they had come across Indian artifacts, bones, pottery, and they had to have that worked out before they could continue. Now, this is something that we had no knowledge of, that our homes have been built on tribal land. So in our home, as has been told here, we would see a figure at the top of our stairs or walking down the stairs that was a black shape that appeared to be a child. It was seen frequently. If we walked past the stairs, we would see the child on the top of the stairs. If we were sitting in our living room area, we could see the child walk down the stairs, and it became so commonplace that we stopped being bothered by it. It just was something that happened. And we had friends and neighbors all see this figure. Well, one night, my husband and I were in bed, and we had French doors that opened into our bedroom. One of our French doors was partially opened. A friend of my son's was sleeping in our loft area, which was outside of our bedroom, and my 2 daughters were asleep in their rooms. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I felt something looking at me. So I opened my eyes. I saw a figure standing in the doorway. And I called out my son's name because I thought that he must, need something, or was walking in his sleep, or, a multitude of reasons why he could be standing there. And I called his name again. And at this point, my husband woke up and saw the figure and asked, are you okay? Called my son's name. And just then, our door slammed shut. Now, our door was open into our bedroom, so to slam it shut, you would have to reach in and pull it out towards the loft area. So where the figure was, our door slammed shut so hard that it rattled our walls. My husband jumped up to run out there because we suddenly thought that maybe this figure had not been our teenage son. At the exact same time, his friend, who was sleeping in the loft on our couch, saw the figure standing in our doorway and heard the slamming door and saw this figure run past him. And he too had jumped up because they're now seeing that this was a faceless, tall figure that was not a human. But our brains at the same time were not connecting that that was a possibility. So my husband and my son's friend ran in, um, saw my son was in bed, had not gotten up, did not know what was happening, and they all searched the house because they were certain that there was someone in our home. There wasn't. They searched every closet, under every bed, in every counter, every cupboard, everywhere they could look. There was no one there. But there had certainly been someone who had been standing in my doorway, witnessed by 3 fully awake people, and heard and saw the door slam violently hard. Like I said, shaking the walls. Now, on its own, that's strange enough. 2 days later, somebody came to my front door. My neighbors had moved out, and the house had been sitting there for a little while, and it had had people, plenty of people, come look at it and tour it. Nobody was buying it. And a woman came to my door, and she asked me if she could ask me a strange question. She then proceeded to ask if I had heard of any paranormal experiences that had happened in my neighbor's home. I hadn't. Generally, people don't talk about things like that because, people will think you're making up stories or that you're crazy. Surely you're lying or exaggerating. And so it wasn't unexpected to me that my neighbors wouldn't have told me that, and we were good friends with them, but still, that's not something you talk about. And I had explained to the lady that no, they hadn't told me anything about paranormal experiences. And she said, she thanked me, and I shut the door, confused by the question, and realizing that something was happening in that area. I quickly turned around because I wanted to stop her and ask her, what are we talking about, and can I share my experiences with you about this? And she was gone. That house sat for another year before being sold. I don't know if they ever explained to any new buyers that the former owner, the only and original owner, as we all were, had experienced paranormal experiences in there. And that is my true personal paranormal experience for today. Please subscribe and like, comment, let me know if you like hearing these stories and if you want to hear more. If you have suggestions for true unsolved murders, I'd be glad to hear that too. Thank you for visiting. Good night.